In the humble foothills of the towering Himalayas, nestled against the formidable Mount Everest, there resided a man, Rohan, who was unlike anyone you've ever met. In his small village, perched precariously on the side of those colossal mountains, he was known for his unusual emotional balance. Amidst the harshness of the mountainous life and the tumultuous turmoil of nature, he stood, as steady as a rock, undeterred. You might be wondering, how did Rohan acquire such emotional stability? The answer takes us back to a young Rohan, who one day stumbled upon a cave, hidden within the labyrinthine passages of the mountains. The cave, however, was not empty but occupied by an old monk who had chosen to spend his life in solitude. Intrigued by the monk's serene demeanor and the aura of tranquility that surrounded him, Rohan sought his teachings. The monk, recognizing the spark within the young boy, agreed to teach him the art of emotional disengagement and mindfulness. The monk emphasized, mindfulness isn't about silencing the mind, but taming the chaos within. He guided Rohan through the labyrinth of his emotions, showing him how to achieve emotional balance through detachment. Rohan, like a devoted student, absorbed these teachings and began to practice mindfulness with dedication. He learned to observe his emotions, not as an inherent part of himself, but as transient waves that come and go, never defining him, never controlling him. As he practiced, Rohan learned to detach from his painful emotions, to observe them from a distance, to understand their transient nature. This process of detachment helped him realize that he was not his emotions. His emotions were simply a part of his experience. They didn't define him, he had the power to define them. This was the art of emotional disengagement that the monk had illuminated. Further, the monk emphasized the crucial role of empathy in achieving emotional balance. To understand oneself fully, one must understand others as well, the monk would often say. He stressed that the ability to empathize with others, to step into their shoes, to feel their pain and share their joy, was a powerful vehicle for personal growth and emotional balance. He taught Rohan that by understanding the emotions of others, he could better understand his own emotional landscape. Inspired by these teachings, Rohan began to assist his fellow villagers. He helped them traverse their emotional landscapes, encouraged them to confront their fears, their sorrows, their joys, and their dreams. He held their hands as they waded through the tumultuous waves of emotion, teaching them, guiding them, helping them to unearth their own emotional stability. Just as the humble seed, when nurtured, transforms into a towering tree, Rohan, under the monk's guidance, transformed. He began to embody the teachings of the monk, becoming a beacon of emotional balance within his village. His journey had only just begun, though. As he grew, his influence would extend far beyond the borders of his village, sparking a revolution of emotional balance and mindfulness that would echo across the mountains, reaching the hearts and minds of countless individuals seeking inner peace. As Rohan's understanding deepened, he became a guide for his fellow villagers, helping them navigate the turbulent seas of their own emotions. He taught them the art of emotional disengagement and how to practice mindfulness, just as the monk had taught him years ago. His wisdom became a beacon of hope for the villagers, who, in turn, started to achieve their own emotional balance. Rohan's influence didn't stop there. His teachings began to spread beyond the confines of his village, reaching the hearts and minds of people far and wide, attracting pilgrims seeking emotional balance and inner peace. Then one day, a devastating storm struck the village. Torrential rain, fierce winds, and relentless hail battered the humble homes of the villagers. The storm was a cruel reminder of nature's uncontrollable power. But amidst the destruction and chaos, Rohan remained composed. His inner peace remained unscathed by the storm's fury, and he became the village's rock, providing comfort and guidance during their darkest hour. When the storm passed, the villagers were left with a broken village, homes reduced to rubble and spirits dampened. But Rohan, undeterred by the calamity, helped his fellow villagers to rebuild their lives. He reminded them of the transient nature of emotions and experiences. Just as the storm had come and gone, so too would their sorrow. He reassured them, "This is but a passing cloud, and soon the sun will shine again." With his guidance, the villagers rediscovered their strength and resilience. They worked hand in hand, reconstructing their village, their homes, and their lives. Rohan's calm demeanor amidst the storm and his wisdom in its aftermath deeply impacted the villagers. They began to practice emotional disengagement and mindfulness more fervently, embracing the inner peace that it brought them. They began to understand that, much like the storm, their emotions were transient and that they could observe them without being swept away. As news of Rohan's wisdom and the village's remarkable resilience spread, more and more people began to visit. They came seeking guidance, craving the tranquility that Rohan and his villagers had achieved. They traveled from far and wide, across mountains, through valleys, and over rivers, drawn by the promise of emotional balance and inner peace. Rohan, though humbled by the attention, remained true to his purpose. Each day, he would sit with the pilgrims, sharing his wisdom and guiding them on their emotional journey. He would remind them that the path to emotional balance wasn't easy, but the destination was worth every step. His words of wisdom would echo through the mountains, inspiring all who heard them to embark on their own journey towards emotional balance, towards inner peace. As the sun shone on the rebuilt village, Rohan felt a longing in his heart, a yearning for deeper understanding. He wanted to delve further into the intricacies of the human mind, the ebb and flow of emotions, the root causes of suffering, and the path to transcend them. With a heavy heart and a determined spirit, Rohan bid his villagers goodbye and set off to seek knowledge from the ancient monasteries known for their wisdom and deep understanding of the human psyche. The journey was long and arduous, but Rohan's determination saw him through. He traversed treacherous terrains, crossed icy rivers, and climbed steep mountains until he reached a centuries-old monastery perched high in the Himalayas. It was here that he met Master Li, a wise old monk known for his deep understanding of the human mind and emotion. Master Li welcomed Rohan with open arms and a warm smile, recognizing the thirst for knowledge in his eyes. Under the guidance of Master Li, Rohan began to learn about the root causes of suffering. He learned that our thoughts, emotions, and desires are deeply interconnected and that they are the root cause of all human suffering. But, Master Li taught him, suffering is not an inevitable part of human existence. By understanding our thoughts and emotions, by practicing mindfulness and empathy, we can transcend our suffering and achieve a state of inner peace. Rohan's mind was like a sponge, soaking up Master Li's teachings. He spent his days in deep meditation, observing his thoughts and emotions, becoming intimately familiar with their rise and fall. He began to see the transient nature of his feelings, recognizing that they were not a part of him, but merely visitors passing through. He learned to observe them without judgment, without attachment, achieving a state of emotional disengagement that brought him inner peace. His days at the monastery were transformative. He felt a profound shift within him. He was not just learning about emotions and suffering. He was experiencing a profound understanding of his self, his being. He was no longer a victim of his emotions but a calm observer, watching them ebb and flow like waves in the ocean. The villagers back home were never far from his thoughts. He longed to share his newfound understanding with them, to help them achieve the inner peace that he had found. After months of learning and meditation, Rohan thanked Master Li for his guidance and set off back to his village, his heart full of knowledge and a deep desire to share it. Upon his return, Rohan was greeted with warmth and joy. The villagers noticed a profound change in him. He was the same Rohan they knew and loved, yet there was a deep sense of calm and wisdom about him that was hard to miss. As he began to share his learnings from the monastery, the villagers hung on to his every word. They learned about self-awareness, empathy, and understanding. They learned to observe their thoughts and emotions without judgment, to practice empathy, and to understand the root causes of their suffering. Rohan's teachings resonated with the villagers. They began to practice mindfulness and empathy, experiencing a profound shift in their understanding of themselves and their emotions. The once turmoil-filled village was transforming into a place of tranquility and understanding. As he grew older, Rohan continued to guide and inspire individuals seeking wisdom. He would sit under a large banyan tree, sharing his wisdom with anyone who sought it. His teachings rippled through the village and beyond, reaching a wider audience, touching numerous lives. His wisdom was a beacon of hope for those caught in the storm of emotions, guiding them towards inner peace and emotional balance. Rohan's influence was not just limited to the villagers. His teachings and his wisdom began to attract people from far and wide. Scholars, monks, philosophers, and seekers of wisdom began to flock to the village. They were all drawn to the serene environment of the village and the profound wisdom of Rohan. The village, once a humble hamlet, began transforming into a vibrant learning center. Rohan greeted each visitor with warmth and humility, willing to share his knowledge and wisdom with anyone who sought it. He told them about his journey from a young boy in the village to discovering mindfulness in a cave and further his enlightenment under Master Li. He preached about self-awareness, empathy, and the importance of emotional disengagement. Rohan's teachings held a universal appeal. The simplicity of his words, the profoundness of his wisdom, the authenticity of his journey, all resonated with the people. Despite their diverse backgrounds, the pilgrims found common ground in Rohan's teachings. They found solace, they found answers, and most importantly, they found a path to inner peace. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Rohan's teachings continued to permeate throughout the village and beyond. People began to notice a significant shift in their perspective. They felt more in control of their feelings, found it easier to empathize with others, and felt a deep sense of self-awareness that they had never experienced before. Anxiety, stress, pain, and anger were no longer overwhelming forces. They were merely temporary emotions that they could observe and let pass. Despite the profound impact of his teachings, Rohan remained humble. He saw himself not as a teacher, but as a fellow traveler on the path to self-discovery and inner peace. He continued to learn, to evolve, to deepen his understanding of the mind and emotions. As Rohan grew older, his energy began to wane, but his spirit remained indomitable. His commitment to sharing his wisdom and guiding others remained unfaltering. Knowing that his time was limited, he poured his energy into ensuring that his teachings would live on. In his final days, Rohan gathered his villagers and the numerous visitors who had become an integral part of the community. His voice was weak, but his message was as powerful as ever. He reminded everyone that the journey to inner peace is a lifelong process. It's a path that requires constant practice, constant self-awareness, and an unwavering commitment to empathy. He urged them to carry forward his teachings, to practice mindfulness, to help others navigate their emotional storms, and to continue their journey of self-discovery. The day Rohan passed away was a day of profound sorrow for the village and all those whose lives he had touched. The villagers mourned the loss of their guide, their mentor, their friend. But amidst the sorrow, there was a sense of determination, a resolve to honor Rohan's legacy. The village did not just mourn Rohan's passing. It celebrated his life, his teachings, his wisdom. They continued to practice his teachings on mindfulness, empathy, emotional disengagement, and self-awareness. They strived to maintain the tranquility of the village, to keep it as a haven for those seeking inner peace. Over time, the village transformed into a learning center, attracting scholars, monks, philosophers, and seekers of wisdom from far and wide. The villagers, once simple folk, became teachers, guiding the visitors on their path to self-discovery and emotional balance. The ripple effect of Rohan's teachings continued to spread, changing countless lives in the process. Rohan may have passed, but his wisdom, his teachings, his legacy lived on. His journey from a simple villager to a wise sage showed people that inner peace is not an elusive state reserved for monks and philosophers. It's a state of being that anyone can achieve with mindfulness, empathy, and self-awareness. And in doing so, Rohan's life served as an inspiration for many to embark on their journey of self-discovery and emotional balance. Rohan's life journey reached far beyond his mortal existence. His teachings, his wisdom, His perspective extended beyond the boundaries of the village, beyond the confines of his time. Through his teachings, he created a legacy that would remain etched in the heart of the village and in the minds of all those who came seeking knowledge. Rohan's last words to his fellow villagers were a reminder of the long journey that achieving inner peace is. He stressed that such a journey is a lifelong commitment, and the path includes consistent practice, self-awareness, and an unwavering commitment to empathy. These words of wisdom were not just a vital reminder to the villagers, but also a guiding principle for all those who embarked on their journey to self-discovery and emotional balance. Despite the sorrow and loss that spread through the village when Rohan departed from this world, his teachings remained alive. His wisdom continued to guide the villagers, helping them navigate their emotional storms, fostering empathy, promoting self-awareness, and leading them to a state of inner peace. The village, once a humble abode, transformed into a vibrant learning center, attracting seekers from far and wide. Scholars, monks, and philosophers traveled from distant lands to this humble village to learn and imbibe the wisdom Rohan had left behind. The villagers, the direct recipients of Rohan's teachings, became the torchbearers of his wisdom. They guided the visitors on their path to self-discovery and emotional balance. In this manner, Rohan's wisdom was not just preserved but was propagated, touching countless lives and leading them to the path of inner peace. The village became a beacon of wisdom and peace, a testament to Rohan's teachings and his journey from a simple villager to a sage. His wisdom inspired many to embark on their journeys of self-discovery and emotional balance. The village that once was a humble dwelling transformed into a vibrant center of learning. The ripples of Rohan's teachings extended far beyond the confines of the village, radiating wisdom, fostering empathy, and illuminating the path of self-awareness and inner peace for all. Rohan's journey, his life, his teachings reflect the power of mindfulness, empathy, and self-awareness. His wisdom shows the potential of every individual to achieve inner peace, to navigate their emotional storms successfully. His life serves as an inspiration for all, a testament to the transformative power of emotional disengagement, and a beacon guiding those on their journey towards self-discovery and emotional balance. As we reflect on Rohan's journey and his teachings, we are reminded that each one of us has the potential to achieve inner peace, to lead a life of empathy and self-awareness. We can navigate our emotional storms, just as Rohan did. We can transform our lives, our surroundings, just as Rohan transformed his village. All it takes is a commitment to mindfulness, a willingness to empathize, and a journey towards self-awareness. Rohan's life and teachings serve as an invitation to all of us to embark on our journey of self-discovery, to navigate our emotional storms, and to strive towards achieving inner peace. As we embark on this journey, Rohan's wisdom will serve as a guiding light, illuminating our path, leading us towards a life of emotional balance and inner peace. So let's take a moment to reflect on Rohan's wisdom, to acknowledge the power of mindfulness, empathy, and self-awareness, and to commence our journey towards inner peace. And as we embark on this journey, remember Rohan's words, the path to inner peace is a lifelong journey. Thank you for joining me today in recounting Rohan's journey and delving into the transformative power of his teachings. If you found value in this, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video for more such content. Remember, inner peace is not a destination, it's a journey. So, let's embark on this journey together,